2023 is the first year of the NBA in-season tournament. Everyone thought this tournament would be a lame money grab, but it ended up being pretty entertaining, with new courts and playoff mentalities. This might have been because the NBA was offering a grand total of $500,000 per player for the winner. I know, the NBA is so generous. Like the World Cup, all 30 teams were sorted randomly and played in the group stage. The team with the best record in each group would get to move on to the knockout rounds, with 2 more wildcards joining the final 8. Then there'd be a single elimination tournament for an in-season trophy. So let's jump in. Well, we gotta start with this boring lame-o division. Basically, LeBron James and the Lakers played crazy good, probably after he saw that prize money, cause we all know LeBron's basically on the brink of homelessness. Anyway, the Lakers would smoke all of their crappy opponents and move into the next round. Joining them as a wild card will be Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, and the Suns. West Group B low-key looked pretty good. First off, we got the LA Clippers, a team that recently made the trade for the man, the myth, the beard, James Harden. Harden recently played for Philly with an MVP teammate Joel Embiid, and a franchise that put a lot of effort into Harden's needs. Instead, he wanted out because, well, he didn't get enough money. Now he finds himself in LA with his old teammate Russell Westbrook with a once-in-a-lifetime chance to get a whopping, wait for it, $500,000 from the NBA in-season tournament. Now there's the money he's been waiting for. Anyway, let's see how this new dynamic works out for LA.
Pour it on. What a satisfying victory for the Knicks over James Harden.
Out of there, so Leonard can drive the lane, and he just turned it over and lost the ball. Numbers for the Lakers. Reeves alley-oop. James with the throwdown in transition.
Walker, shot clock winding down.
Walker from deep. And from near the hash, 42.
3. No. And the struggles continue for the Clippers.
Crap, well, the Clips started 0-5 of this new lineup, and Russ and Harden can't seem to get along on the court. So, if they're not gonna win the division, who will? How about the Mavericks? Well, Luka's scoring 40 a night, but I guess the rest of the team isn't. Okay then, it's gotta be the Nuggets, the defending champs, right? Well, most of the team's injured and Jokic can't win alone. So just like that, the division crown goes to the Pelicans? Wait, I forgot this team even existed. Well, Zion must have seen a donut on the rim, since he went lights out in the tournament and led New Orleans to wins over all of those 3 teams above and into the next round. West Group C had some pretty good games. Everyone got to beat up on the Spurs, a team currently on a 16-game losing streak, ouch, despite having Victor Wembanyama. But in the wise words of Greg Popovich, stop booing and they might win a game eventually.
Excuse me for a second.
Pops on the
Stop
mic.
all the booing, let these guys play. It's got no class. It's not who we are. Knock off the booing.
4th place were the Oklahoma City Thunder, led by SGA, Shet, and Josh underage Dater Giddey. But OKC would get knocked out by a Steph Curry buzzer beater.
Curry sidestep, Curry drive, Curry flip, Curry good! And 2 again!
Unfortunately for the Warriors, they've been facing some early season problems. Again. Klay Thompson sucks, Draymond Green likes to fight, and they just happen to get eliminated on the final night after blowing a 24-point lead. So somehow, the Sacramento Kings won their division and beat Golden State off a game winner.
5 fouls. Monk drives on him, Monk hangs, and he scores! What a basket! Puts it up! That's it! The Kings win!
East Group A, well, in a division that was favored by the Sixers, Philly only won 2 of their 4 games. One of their losses was to Cleveland, who survived the Sixers' comeback in overtime. But even they couldn't handle the most surprising team yet, the Indiana Pacers. Last time you heard about the Pacers was when Ron Artest beat the crap out of Detroit. But this team just suddenly came out of nowhere. The Pacers have been led by Tyrese Halliburton, you know, the guy that did this.
In 5 games, that's 5 per game. Here's a step back. Halliburton.
Let that go in. That's a shake 'em up.
Halliburton would put up crazy numbers and go undefeated in their division. Every game had a crazy ending for the Pacers. First, a clutch block got a dub versus the Cavs. Then Indiana went on the road and took down Philly, ending it off with a crazy comeback win 157-152 over the Hawks. So the Pacers are no doubt the most exciting team, and the team joining them in East Group B will be the Milwaukee Bucks. Look, Milwaukee's become a super team after Dame joined Giannis this offseason, so the Bucks easily swept the division. The last thing we needed in the East were more stacked super teams, but when it's Dame time, it's Dame time. Nothing you could do about it, and now every other team is hopeless. At least the New York Knicks squeaked in as a wild card though. Finally, East Group C. On the topic of super teams, the last team I'd want to advance to the next round are those darn Boston Celtics. Look, everyone's sick of this team always winning already. So who else can take their spot? I mean, the only thing the Bulls are winning is last place. Toronto's forgettable. The Nets are winning some division games with Mikal Bridges, but I think the division crown should go to the Orlando Magic. Rookie of the Year Paolo Banchero and the Magic have clutched out 3 wins this tournament, and they even beat the Celtics. So now there's a 3-way tie for first, so who's gonna win the division? I'm so sick of this team. There's no way that Boston advanced because of point differential. This point differential baloney ruins the integrity of the game. Like, in the last game, the Celtics are smoking the Bulls. Chicago empties their bench cause they know it's a loss, but Joe Mazzulla keeps his starters in the 4th to crank up some points. It's as if the mercy rule doesn't even exist anymore. You're up by 50 in football, stop scoring. Up by 10 in baseball, stop scoring. Up by 30 in the NBA in-season tournament? Hell no, we're cranking those points. It's not any of these teams' fault that they're disrespecting their opponent by tacking on points, it's the NBA's fault. Because the NBA decides who advances with point differential, this happens. And you know, Boston's not gonna pass the whopping grand prize of, deep breath, $500,000. So with that, let's move on to the knockout round. Never in my life would I have ever thought there'd be any hype around this game, but hey, everything's hyped up in Vegas. New Orleans would find themselves down 15 in the first quarter, but would come back and get up 15. The Pelicans would control the rest of the game thanks to Brandon Ingram dropping 30. Late in the game, the Pels sealed a dub after a slam dunk by, you know him, you love him, Herb Jones. And the 3-seeded Pelicans move on. The Lakers have already taken the first 2 games against the Suns, both coming from 4th quarter comebacks. So early in this one, LA would control the first half and get up 12. Then a 14-0 run by Phoenix out of the half would even the game. This battle would continue, Kevin Durant and Devin Booker versus LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Late in the game, LeBron would score 2 straight buckets and get up 102-97. With a minute left, the Suns' hopes at winning seemed very slim.
34 seconds to go. Booker turns the corner and finishes with the left hand.
And a quick score.
So if you're the Lakers, who do you trust to shoot the next shot? Maybe LeBron? AD?
Trip to Vegas on the line.
6-second difference. Reeves. Oh yeah!
Austin Reeves? Right, the most unathletic looking guy on the court. Well, the next crucial play would also involve Reeves on an inbound pass.
James tosses in for Reeves. Booker is playing with those 5 fouls, so is Durant. Oh, the ball squirts loose.
What are they calling here?
A timeout.
Benign. The ball was a loose ball. How could it have been a timeout when no one had possession? Let's see when LeBron was calling timeout here. Here's Reeves. When the ball comes out, no one has possession.
Are you serious right now? This isn't controversial, it's just plain out wrong. Phoenix would have had a shot to tie or win the game if they hadn't accepted a timeout. Instead, they lose the game because the NBA's freaking rigged. Indiana's run so far has no doubt been magical, but can it continue against a super team like the Celtics? Look, Boston's no team to joke about. If Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Derek White weren't already enough, well, we're snatching some more rising stars this offseason. Boston comes into this game with the best record in the NBA and the best odds at a chip. In the first half, the game was pretty even, so the Pacers are doing a good job at keeping this tight. But they can't let their guard down. Yeah, don't forget about our favorite NBA hairline, Derek White. Dang, and now Jason Tatum's cooking up the Pacers too? Okay, they need to get a stop. This is getting out of hand.
Dictate pace, something that very few teams have done against the Pacers this year. Tatum, deep shot!
And what they're doing is they're searching out matchups, right?
Well, thank God Indiana has this new rising star named Tyrese Halliburton. Halliburton's been playing crazy recently, and his great shooting and assisting would help Indiana slowly chomp away from Boston's lead. Sweet moves. Step back jumpers. Three-pointers. Halliburton was doing it all, and the Pacers carried that momentum into the third to get up double digits. But the Celtics of course came back and tied the game at 105 with less than 2 minutes left on the clock.
Inbound to Halliburton, he's still got plenty of time, 7 on the timer. Halliburton trapped, off balance, 3, and he puts it in! And a chance at 4! Halliburton the inbounder, they have to work quickly here. Throws in straight away in field, that's good!
What's gotten into this team? The Pacers were basically irrelevant not too long ago, but a 9-0 run in the fourth and a Tyrese Halliburton triple-double. They just knocked out Boston. Let's see who they play next. Look, considering New York was playing a juggernaut, the Knicks shot well, rebounded well, and controlled the paint. The problem, well, they're playing the Milwaukee Bucks. The Bucks are way too overpowered. New York's gotta worry about Giannis, a Greek freak, and automatic 30 points. Damian Lillard's also on the floor, and he's an automatic 25. And Chris Middleton and Brook Lopez tack on some more. On top of that, they have a decent bench. So all of these factors helped Milwaukee cook one of the best defenses in the league and drop 146 points. Look, let's be real here, no one ever believed in the Pelicans. How they made it to the semifinals, who the hell knows. But when the Pelicans finally got their first true test against the Lakers, and, well, let me tell you a story. A pelican flies into the land of 10,000 lakes, trying to find some food. A troop of 5 pelicans went to search for fish across the lakes. Well, actually 4, cause Zion was never to be found. Anyway, for 48 straight minutes, the pelicans found no fish in the water. They looked everywhere, but legend says all the fish were stolen by a goat named LeBron. The pelicans started to get really hungry about halfway through, but with no food, they were fatigued. Once the third quarter rolled around, the only thing the pelicans could do was watch as LeBron the goat ate all of their food. 44 fishes to be exact. So yeah, the pelicans just gave up and flew away from the lakes as quickly as they could. Bucks vs Pacers. Both these teams have yet to lose a game. This game was marked as the highest over-under bet in 30 years. So basically, this was gonna be a high-scoring battle in Vegas, and Indiana dropped 60 in the first half. The Bucks would come back down double digits with Giannis and Dame and take a lead after the third quarter. Then Indiana storms back. Late in the game, the Pacers reclaimed the lead. Every time Milwaukee scores, Indiana answers back. And when the Pacers score, the Bucks answer back. So with 2 minutes left, it's clutch time. And you know what that means, it's Dame time. Lillard hits his free throws and cuts the lead to 1. Let's see what he does next.
Back right there to put the Pacers up 3.
Boy, Nolan, Brown with the steal, the drive, layup, no good, the follow is good, is healed.
What's going on with the Pacers? A team that looked, you know, mediocre, is about to beat the top 4 teams in the East. Cleveland, Philly, Boston, and now Milwaukee. Tyrese Halliburton just ended already.
5-point lead. Halliburton tries another 3. Bang! Tyrese Halliburton from downtown!
Well, Halliburton was right, it's not Dame time anymore. Tyrese balled out again with 27 points and 15 dimes. and his teammates played good as well. So now they meet the Lakers in the finals. The Lakers vs. Pacers in the inaugural NBA In-Season Tournament Cup was a pretty straightforward game. The Lakers would lead for basically the whole first half thanks to Austin Reeves. Then Anthony Davis stepped up his game in the second half and dropped a whopping 42 points. Meanwhile, Haliburton and the Pacers were locked down defensively, and were held to only 36% shooting on the night. LA simply controlled this game, although there was a point in the fourth where Indiana cut it to 3. A big run by the Lakers secured the victory. The Pacers had an impressive run that just fell short. But LeBron wins MVP, and the LA Lakers are your 2023 NBA In-Season Tournament champions. Anyway, this was a pretty fun tournament, and we'll see who wins it next year.